I feel like a lot of trainers have their own specific methods, and however you do it is 100% okay. Even if you switch things up, play the way that you love to play. Sorry, Butters, I just like to give you a little trouble.
No, it's completely fine. And the thing is, it's exactly the play style. It's because I like it a certain way, and just why DHCUnited is playing Shadow Gyarados, he likes it. Actually, I believe he did take motivation from his friend, who also played quite well with that Shadow Gyarados. HDMV. Two friends that were, I think, building the team together. I think he was put on to the Shadow Gyarados, and he's taken off ever since. And now, let's actually look at that signature Pokemon in this matchup. How does it fare against Kelsey's team? It's fantastic against the Shadow Kanto Marowak. It is pretty good against Empoleon. It has playing its Guzzlord with the fast attack pressure. It has the charge attack of Crunch into the Jellicent. It's amazing versus Shadow Talonflame. And then you're also able to resist Chilling Water and take Trailblaze neutrally against the Florges. Florges is actually a pretty good answer for the Gyarados.
I see 5 matchups where Shadow Gyarados has a ton of impact potential, and only one being the Florges, where it looks a little bit uphill. But otherwise, Shadow Gyarados can go in the lead, it can be the swap, it can even be the closer here for DHC, and honestly, I'm leaning towards that positioning. If you can get a Protect Shield advantage, a little bit of an HP advantage, I think that when Shadow Gyarados finally gets unleashed, mid-game or end-game, it could be really hard to stop.
Well, we've seen it before, the double water strat in this tournament, in the previous tournaments as well, but it's back. I think you bring the double water strat. I think you bring the Gyarados and you bring that Empoleon to pair, because that Empoleon is the perfect partner to try to counter the Florges and try to take down that Guzzlord as well. I think we're going to see a lot of double water from DHCUnited. This is your winners finals. It's going to be best of 5, 2 underdog stories. Who will make it to the grand finals? It's Empoleon versus Empoleon.
Let's go, everybody. Water and steel types on the field. The mirror match is so critical, especially when you want to determine the lead matchup. Going for the Hydro Cannon earlier than her opponent, kelssseyk, will strike first.
And having 2 okay answers for that Shadow Gyarados in the back with the Florges and also the Guzzlord. In case you lose this opening matchup, you can soak all that energy onto your Guzzlord versus that Gyarados. Here comes the Hydro Cannon resisted into the Empoleon mirror.
Absolutely, chipping away at each other, whittling down their opponents, probably already workshopping in their minds what is going to be in the back. Second Hydro Cannon will get fired off here. Because those metal sounds are double resisted, neither Empoleon is really at risk of being farmed down. This is a 3 Hydro Cannon kind of bout.
And charge attack priority has not been revealed. Both of these trainers are trying to throw at different timing to not reveal which Empoleon has higher attack. If you have higher attack, you will get to throw your charge attack first. And we'll find out right here, no double swap. They both tried to swap. It is going to be the pseudo dragon type of that Gyarados with that Dragon Breath damage versus the real Dragon type of the Guzzlord.
Both into their Dragon Fast Attack type Pokemon. I think the Gyarados has a slight edge for the exact reason that you mentioned, Butters. But remember, the Gyarados' charge attacks are basically useless in this Guzzlord matchup, and timing the Dragon Breath means everything for DHC.
We've seen how much DHC invests in the Gyarados. I think you invest once again. If you land this Aqua Tail, you can farm down if you Protect Shield one more time. But no, actually trying to get a Protect Shield back, and it doesn't happen. Kelsey thinking, I'm going to put all of my hopes into the Florges in the back. You have the Florges, can soak this energy, but an Aqua Tail is going to chunk a lot. You're going to have to Protect Shield it.
Exactly. We saw 5 Fairy Winds connect. We know 5 more is not going to be enough to KO the Gyarados. Is kelssseyk going to shield here, or is she going to throw up a Chilling Water, slow down the Gyarados to shield later?
And remember, this is a Pokemon using a fast attack with Dragon, but it's not a Dragon type. These Fairy Winds are not super effective. It's not enough to farm down. You have to throw a charge attack, and it is that Trailblaze trying to increase the attack by 1 stage on the Florges, and you have extra energy. Here comes the Corviknight. It's 1 Protect Shield versus 1 Protect Shield.
Absolutely adore the decision here by Kelsey to go up 2 Fairy Winds and throw the Chilling Water. She wants that debuff ASAP as soon as possible, and she gets that here against the Steel Flying type Pokemon.
You would think a Steel type would be awesome versus a pure Fairy type, but not in this situation, because your second charge attack, the one that does more damage, is Dark. So you have to only focus on your Air Cutters here. But a boost, now that evens the field.
Equalizing the attack stat. Let's see if the Chilling Water can bring it back down. kelssseyk desperately trying to control this Corviknight and not let it run rampant, but the swap out clears the debuff. Here comes the Hydro Cannon. Empoleon is ready.
And this is going to be the last shield, the shield that Kelsey was waiting for. She is always prepared in these in-games, can get the Fairy Wind down as well, and yes, does get the Fairy Wind down. There is still 1 Protect Shield remaining from DHCUnited, but there is no swap out left.
too much pressure. kelssseyk throws the chilling water, no shield from DHC. His Corviknight goes down. Kelsey is on the board.
Picking up where she left off, defeating Nighttime Clasher. Kelsey has not lost a battle in day number 2.
Wow.
She is 5-0.
Wow. Kelsey also had that Hydro Cannon stored on that Empoleon, so I think that DHC knew that battle was over. Chilling water, Hydro Cannon, doesn't matter how you get that water damage in, she's going to apply enormous pressure to her opponents, and that Florges Guzzlord duo has been so good for her.
Her ability to actually predict her opponent and to set up her in-games is the thing I've been most impressed with.
Yeah.
She is really predicting the opponent and thinking 5 steps ahead and then executing on it. And in this situation, like you said, had that Hydro Cannon banked, and then plus, once you throw the chilling water into the Corviknight here, you're not even in air cutter range. You would need double air cutter.
Exactly, just building all kinds of insurance policies into her win conditions. That's one of the top qualities of elite trainers. They don't just circle it one way to win. They want to give themselves a little wiggle room in case something goes wrong. kelssseyk has been managing these games better than almost anyone I've seen.
Remember, this is a longer series, so more time for adjustments. That Shadow Gyarados that got to do some work in that matchup didn't have the best favorable position. You do have more opportunities than a best of 3. This is best of 5, so yes, DHCUnited is down 1, but this series is just getting started.
Let's also remember the Empoleons for both trainers avoided colliding on charge attack priority. We still don't know which one of those will win that exchange. So going into this next battle, if Empoleon appears again on the field, it's going to be really, really critical to see which one of them gets to go first.
Well, my hunch is both of them have low attack because both of them wanted to swap out and not reveal it. So we might have low attack versus low attack. And actually, if they have the exact same attack, it's a coin flip. It's a 50-50.
Let's jump right in, everybody. We've got Shadow Gyarados taking to the field, but this time it's facing off against Florges.
And it seems like Kelsey has determined that this is the best course of action, to have the Florges and the Guzzlord and the Empoleon as your team of 3. And this Aqua Tail is going to do a good chunk. If there is no protection, this does almost half the damage of a Florges. It absolutely does work.
So much work. A Gyarados is not known for its bulk in the Great League, but its potency is almost unrivaled. Trailblaze getting fired off here. Could have been a chilling water bait, so I like the shield here by DHC. Trailblaze would have devastated it as well.
Well, yes, you're not doing fast attack pressure, but you're actually not taking that much damage from the Fairy Wind either. And at this point, you can get the knockout because that was a Trailblaze, right? You didn't drop your attack. Now you got the Protect Shield. You could even swap out of this matchup or just stay in. There's the swap on the Trailblaze. It is double, not very effective.
Wow, what a well-timed swap here by DHC. Finally able to kind of wiggle out and make some room for himself, positionally speaking, but the Florges stays in. You double resisted the Dragon Breath on the Gyarados. You're double resisting the Dragon Breath on the Altaria. Why not cool it down as well and set up your next Pokemon?
Yeah, a great pickup from Altaria to catch that attack, but it doesn't have a ton of options here. But now at least the Guzzlord does swap in, so you can put your energy into the Guzzlord instead and do that super effective Dragon Breath damage. Remember, you have your attack dropped by 1 stage. This isn't going to do enough damage, and you actually are getting closer and closer back to your switch timer.
Yeah, but I mean, after the chilling water debuff, this Altaria is kind of flying against the current. Going to go ahead and throw the brutal swing here. This might not be enough to pick up the KO, but one more Dragon Tail will definitely do it. No, can't get the swap out, Altaria.
He was trying to hold on to that Sky Attack to use it later and tried to swap, but he couldn't quite do it. And now suddenly his Altaria is knocked out. There's no Sky Attack. Now if you don't Protect Shield, both of your Dragon and your Pseudo Dragon would be knocked out. Both trainers have the Empoleon in the back. You need to get the farm down, but you can't get it, so you have to throw the Aqua Tail.
Guzzlord would have reached another brutal swing. DHC, great recognition to throw the Aqua Tail and prevent the next charge attack, but it costs him a lot of energy. He's got no shields. There's a healthy Empoleon in the back, and the Florges is still there as well.
In the actually, the Empoleon comes in, but you can't farm down, and now suddenly you have an opportunity for DHCUnited. No, tried to swap on an attack, but banked an attack, has either a Crunch or an Aqua Tail, a Crunch to throw Empoleon or an Aqua Tail to throw the Florges.
Exactly, and kelssseyk holding on to the energy, doesn't throw the Drill Peck, which would have been resisted into the opposing Empoleon, but we see here as well, she's able to win that charge attack priority tie. So not only does she have the shield advantage, not only does she have the energy advantage, she's got the charge attack priority attack advantage.
She has a command of this battle. battle. She has commanded the in-games all tournament long. She has not dropped a battle yet, and we still don't know who wins charge attack priority because no one wants to throw on it.
Exactly. Kelsey's going to go ahead and throw another Hydro Cannon here, shaking her head a little bit, but she is in a commanding position. Charge attack
there it is.
Ready to go. Kelsey strikes again.
We know it. Kelsey wins the charge attack priority into the Empoleon, throws the Hydro Cannon, knocks out, wastes all the energy on the Empoleon. There is an attack available, trying to go for the double Aqua Tail here. Maybe it gets the last Protect Shield. No, Kelsey knows you can just get one Fairy Wind off, you can win this battle.
Despite all the rage, despite the red eyes, the menacing power of the Gyarados, it's just not enough. Kelsey takes another game in our winner's final. She's one game away from Grands, Butters.
And she is still undefeated in day number 2. DHC is in a tough position. His signature Pokemon has ran into a wall of Florges. And how can you get out of that situation? Do you just sit that signature Pokemon and try to be a little bit stronger against the Florges? The thing is, the Florges is just so strong against DHC's United team. Yes, there's 2 Steel types, but Corviknight isn't a true counter to Florges.
We talked about this in the team preview. As long as the Gyarados can avoid the Florges, it has got potential across the board. But Florges might be the best goalkeeper in soccer, football, or any sport that we know, because it is keeping that Gyarados at bay. Now, going to this game, DHC United has to start to mount a comeback. He needs 3 straight.
Do you bring the Shadow Kanto Marowak? Oh. Kelsey's showing the same 3 over and over again. You know Empoleon, Guzzlord, and Florges has a good chance of being there. You have neutral play into the Guzzlord, you're great against the Empoleon, and if you have Protect Shields up, you can still battle against the Florges. I would like that adjustment from DHC United. His tournament is not on the line, but his chances of getting to the grand finals is on the line if he doesn't win this battle.
Well, if you can't get ground type pressure from the Shadow Kanto Marowak, you can get a little bit of it from that Sand Attack Corviknight. We see Empoleon lead from Kelsey again. This time Corviknight lead for DHC. Hydro Cannon coming through.
And it's the same team of 3 for Kelsey. It's the Florges, the Guzzlord, and Empoleon. DHC United is the one making adjustments. Instead, now he has, instead of the Empoleon as a Steel type, he has the Corviknight, and he still has the Dragon and Pseudo Dragon of the Altaria and the Shadow Gyarados. Florges is in the back for Kelsey.
Payback connects, and now this Empoleon is within Sand Attack range, forcing Kelsey K to throw off this Hydro Cannon a bit early, but I do think this will pick up the KO and secure control of switch advantage for her.
I feel like this is such a big skill expression moment for Kelsey. She's going to have this Florges in the back against this Pseudo Dragon and Dragon, but there's going to be a lot of swapping back and forth because a lot of these Pokemon can resist attacks. You get the full farm down there with the Gyarados, and now you're really ahead on energy. This is actually tough. You're coming in on the Florges where you could have soaked it with the Guzzlord. Instead, you're going to take a half of your health here, and I think you're going to get outpaced to the double.
Great timing by DHC to throw 7 Dragon Breaths into the Aqua Tail. Swapping now on the Trailblaze. DHC is fighting with everything he's got to stay in this series. Kelsey K was in this situation last game and it didn't matter. Let's see if this time it makes a difference.
And remember last time she did swap into the Guzzlord at some point after the Chilling Water. Will she do the exact same thing? Maybe not trying to use a Protect Shield in this battle. Once again, debuffing this Altaria. Do we see the same pattern from game number 2? Pivot into Guzzlord? No, actually this time staying in the battle.
Staying in for a while longer. No swap, no late swap, excuse me. Sky Attack getting fired off by the Altaria.
No shield?
I don't think it's enough. I think she's trying to bank a charge attack on the Florges and then bail it out. But it's going to be really close. Can she do it? No, she can't get it out. It's all on the Guzzlord now.
Oh, that was so risky, especially because the Shadow Gyarados is so healthy here, and there are 4 Protect Shields remaining. Now only 3 Protect Shields remaining in the game, but Gyarados can just come in and start unleashing that Dragon Breath pressure, and there it is. And add a charge attack right now. There's only 1 Protect Shield remaining. There's 2 for DHC United.
That instant swap was critical. DHC recognizes he needs double Aqua Tails to win this battle, plus the Dragon Breath that his Gyarados will give him. He's closing in on the double. Guzzlord's running out of options, and it's losing HP rapidly. Goes for the crunch, expecting the shield. If it gets the debuff, the Dragon Breaths will eat this Guzzlord.
He is trying to fish for the debuff and maybe do slightly a little bit more damage into that Guzzlord. It does land into the Guzzlord, trying to go for the Dragon Breath down. There's 1 Protect Shield remaining. Can you get to the double Brutal Swing? And no, again, Kelsey just can't hang on to the Dragon Breath pressure with either of her Pokemon, and DHC puts a point on the board.
Absolutely incredible, committing, doubling down, tripling down on that Shadow Gyarados, and it finally pays off. DHC has been so resilient here, and facing a 0-2 deficit, strikes back to put himself back into the series.
In the first loss of day number 2 for Kelsey, and Kelsey in that in-game scenario had the Florges with 2 Protect Shields. I was shocked that she didn't use either of them in that matchup. Because, yes, maybe, I'm not sure at that point if you've seen, actually, you had seen every Pokemon on DHC's United team at that moment. The Sky Attack, maybe she thought she could get to one more Charge Attack and hang on, though.
Here's the key, right? If you're Kelsey, you brought your Fairy-type Florges, your Steel-type Empoleon, and your Dragon-type Guzzlord, and you still could not topple Double Dragon plus Steel. The reason is because she didn't put her Empoleon in the right spot. She used it against the Corviknight. She needs to save that Empoleon for the opposing matchups where it's the most useful against the Dragon Breath users.
Yes, and then also maybe invest a little bit more in Florges. Once you saw a Steel type in the lead, you're maybe thinking, maybe it's not double Steel in the back. So I can invest more into my Florges, but I mean, who are we to judge? She has been absolutely on point the entire tournament, and she's only lost 1 game. She's still 1 game away from securing the Grand Finals in Toronto 2026. I mean, I don't see a reason to switch it up. There's been 3 battles, and I feel like she's had a chance in all 3 of them. She's won 2, lost 1 barely.
Exactly. Well, there's also the other side of it, right? So she's 1 game away from winning, but she also can afford to lose 1 more battle and still win the 5th game in the series to advance to the Grand Final. So even if she tries something here and it doesn't exactly work out, she still has 1 more shot.
The pressure is on for both of these underdogs here. They're trying to make it to their first ever Grand Finals. It's Dragon versus Dragon. The Altaria meets the Guzzlord.
I like this composition change. Kelsey bringing out the Jellicent, which was so useful earlier on in the tournament. If she can align that Jellicent to the Empoleon, it might be trouble for DHC.
And I think she knows that Furret is not coming out for DHC United. That frees up the Jellicent against the rest of the team from DHC United. I love that adjustment right here. Here comes the Sky Attack into Kelsey. Probably going to let it go. Probably going to save Protect Shields for her strongest Pokemon, the Florges and the Jellicent.
Guzzlord, meanwhile, has the Brutal Swing ready to go. 1 more Dragon Tail into the Charge Attack. This is not quite enough to KO, but DHC has to be careful here to manage his HP. The Dragon Tails are going to add up. I think 2 more will pick up the KO, but the Sky Attack is there.
And a soft win in the lead for DHC United, meaning that your Gyarados can line up. Oh no! Actually going for the alignment, uses the Protect Shield.
I like it. I like that play a lot. Kelsey needs to control the tempo of this matchup if she's going to uncover that Gyarados and take down the Pokemon that is the reason she lost game number 3.
And you might just get the shield right back, because letting a Brutal Swing go would be devastating for DHC's signature Pokemon. Actually just letting it go, putting all his hope in Empoleon, but Empoleon gets walled pretty badly from that Jellicent in the back, so this is tough, meeting the Fairy type, and now you're going to be at the Aqua Tail first, but you still have to deal with this Jellicent.
Don't forget, still a Protect Shield advantage on DHC's side, and the Aqua Tail does about half as we saw earlier, so this is going to sting into that Florges. Now the pivot into the Empoleon, and another throw! DHC keeps on catching the Trailblazers.
And Kelsey shakes her head a little bit, not loving that situation, but she's going to love bringing the Jellicent into this Empoleon now. It might be a little bit of waste of the Trailblaze now that the attack is boosted and you swap out, but at least you get that neutral damage, and the Drill Packs are going to be coming out, but soon enough, you're going to be able to charge to a ton of energy on this Jellicent to force all the shields.
Empoleon definitely within Shadow Ball range, right? In spite of the 2 shields. Do we see the bait? No! Kelsey full sends the Shadow Ball. Does DHC try to call it? This is a huge call.
He's thinking about it. He knows shields, and it lands through 2 Protect Shields. Kelsey secures the knockout, and there's 1 Protect Shield remaining. It all comes down to Shadow Gyarados, but he's taking all this pressure from the fast attack of Hex.
DHC was expecting a jab, but Kelsey lands the uppercut to KO that Pokemon and clear the runway. Jellicent is going to spam off of the Charge Attack here, but the Aqua Tail will connect first.
And DHC United tried to bait back, and there was no Protect Shield, and the Aqua Tail is not very effective. Swap into Florges. Florges is going to be able to Fairy Wind down, and Kelsey is moving on to the Grand Finals.
Everyone knows Kelsey K, but please welcome our Grand Finalist, Kelsey K, for the first time in her competitive career. What an accomplishment, what a feat, changing things up, reaching for that Jellicent right when she needed it, and it was the perfect call.
Incredible.